Today I want to talk about how to use the iPad Pro and the Procreate app along with Cricut Design Space to create your own t-shirts using a heat transfer vinyl and a design that you create using these programs. So this is an iPad Pro, and on it I have downloaded this app called Procreate, and I also have an Apple Pencil. And in order to do this system, you have to have a program or an iPad that's compatible with the Procreate program and an Apple Pencil. The Apple Pencil allows you to get some really nice hand-lettered designs. So the first thing you need to do is to open up your Procreate app and design your saying or your design. And I actually already have one in here that I want to use. So I designed this Just Chillin' app, and without having to go into too many details about the Procreate program itself, there's different layers. Like if you were designing something in Illustrator or Photoshop, I have different layers of my design, so that when I want to cut out anything that I want cut out with the same color, I make sure they're all the same color. So Just Chillin', it's going to be cut out in one color of heat transfer vinyl, and the pink will be another color and the purple will be another color. So I have all of those in different layers, so that if I go in and turn them off, you can see just what I want for each layer. Now, in order to get this into Cricut Design Space, however, I am going to turn off the colored layer, you can see there, and just leave the part that's black because I want that to be cut out of one solid color of heat transfer vinyl. And I'm going to take a screenshot of that and then just kind of clean up, oops. Well, that's not going to work, but we'll just crop that out. So I crop that to the size I want and then click Done, save it to my photos. All right, and now I want to do the colored layer, so I keep that layer on, turn off the rest, and again I screenshot it, and I'm going to crop that, click Done, save to photos. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to go into my Cricut app, and I'm going to open up a new project, and down here on the left I'm going to upload, and it says select from photo library, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to open up this image, and right here you can see this is what it's going to look like. Right now it's black. So along the bottom here you have remove, erase, crop, undo, and redo. So I'm going to click erase and then click on the area that I want erased. But easier is to click remove and then click all the white space. So you can see it's not two colors here, but don't worry, as long as they're separated, we're going to be okay. And then I'm going to click next. Now you can smooth it out a little bit if you want. See, there's like a sharp edge here, and you just click smooth, tap it, and it'll smooth it out. And it's not going to be perfect, and I don't like that actually. I'm just going to hit smooth once. All right. Hit next. And we want to make sure it's going to save it as a cut image. See, there's cut here and then print and cut there. And then we're going to call it, popsicle or whatever. Click Done. So here it is right here in our uploaded images library. So I'm going to click on that and click Insert. So there it is. But before we continue, I want to click the second, or add the second part of our design. So I'm going to select from my photo library. There it is. Just chilling. Again, it's all black right now, but we're going to click remove. Hit all the white areas. And if you have really tiny white areas like inside the J and inside the S, you can hover. You can see there's like a target. You can just make it go on the area that exactly you want, and it will clean that up. So there it is. That's what it's going to look like, and we click next. I don't think it needs to be smoothed out. I like it how it is. So we'll click next. Chillin' is what we're going to call it. We saved it as a cut image and click done. It's in our uploaded images library, so we're going to add that onto our canvas, and now we have both of our pieces. And actually, we're going to turn on our layers panel over here so you can see that we have our two layers here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to, because I want to have two different colors, down here there's a little duplicate, so I'm going to duplicate that so that we have two of them. And then I'm going to find, I think I'm going to do this one. We're going to click edit, actions. It's actions. Okay, so I'm highlighted on this layer of our ice cream or our popsicle, and I click actions and I click hide contour. So I only want the bottom half on that one, and we're good there. So on this one, I'm going to click actions, hide contour, and click on the bottom part because we want that to be hidden. And now I can go in here and change the colors. And it really doesn't matter which color you're choosing. You just want them to be two different colors so that you can, the machine will know to cut two different colors of vinyl. So now we want to make sure and size our image. Another thing I like about this is I can use my pencil on here. Not that it really matters right now because we'll place it correctly once we get the right size of our piece, but let me move this over. I want to move this just a little bit better lined up, but we'll get it as close as we can, and then we'll select both and we'll move it into position here, and then it's having a hard time. We're going to make sure and move this layer. Let's just move it to the top if we can, but it doesn't want to. Click on the layer and we're going to, is it edit, arrange, move to front. There. So now we get a better idea of exactly what our design is going to look like, right? And now we need to adjust it to the size we want. But we're going to undo that. I messed up there. We want to make sure and select all the layers. So when they're all highlighted over here on your layers panel, you know you've got them all highlighted. And we're going to have the width about 7 inches for the shirt that I'm making for my daughter. So I'm just watching that width over there. Make sure it's okay. I always like to go over here, just, I don't know why. Okay, so we've got it 7 inches wide by about 1, 2, 3, a little over 3 inches in height. So now when I go to make it, I've got my 3 different layers, so I can cut out my 3 different colors of iron-on vinyl. One thing I do want to make sure of, though, is because I'm doing iron-on vinyl, I have my mirror image clicked, so that way I've got my 3 pieces here. We're going to do all the words in rose gold, and we're going to do, this is the foil heat transfer or iron-on. So I think it'll look really good, but I want to make sure I have got all my, all the right colors to all the right layers, And now I'm going to click my mirror image on, get my mat out, and I'm going to click continue. So it's going to look for my device. There it is, my maker. We want to click on iron on. Oh, but you know what? This is more specific. I'm going to go back and edit this because it's foil iron on. So I want to make sure that it cuts the correct depth. So there's foil iron on. I want to make sure it just gets the right one. We've got our mirror image on. We've got our foil iron on selected. I'm going to load it into my machine. And then I'm going to press go. And it should cut that in like no time at all. All right, that was quick. So then it tells us to load the next mat. So we're going to unload this one. Now it's showing us our blue mat, which is going to actually be purple, our purple foil iron on. And it's still set to foil iron on. However, you have to double check because here you can see, or maybe you can't see, but the mirror image is not turned on. So we want to make sure and turn that on. So you have to make sure and check that with every layer that you cut. While we wait for that to cut, I will just weed this. So when you're working with iron on, the reason I love it is because, I don't know, it just doesn't give me a hard time as adhesive vinyl sometimes does. So I've got that ready to go. All right, it's ready for me to unload this one and load the next one. So we'll take this layer off. We'll add on our rose gold. You know what, let me see if this fits. I just picked up some scraps, so I was trying to see if any of those will fit, but they won't, so we'll use this one. I don't know, do you guys save your scraps? Okay, so I've got that ready to go. Again, we want to make sure that our mirror image is on for this layer. Our foil iron on is still selected, so we're going to load our mat in there. And when it's ready, we're going to click go. So this one might take a while because it's a little bit more intricate. Actually a lot more intricate. So I'm going to weed this. We'll move that over to the side. I'm going to weed this while we wait, although it's not going to take very long. And then I'm going to just trim these down a little bit to make it easier when I start ironing these on. So I've got my scissors. Here's our top of our popsicle. And there's the bottom of our popsicle. So we'll be good to go. I might just trim this up even a little bit more, like right along the edges. I haven't really layering foil can be a little bit tricky because you have to let things cool completely before you remove the carrier sheet. So I'm just going to cut these a little bit closer so that way I only have to iron it once because I don't want it to get too messed up because I'm ironing it too much. Okay, so I just cut that out really close. All right, I think we're done. So we're going to unload that. We're going to move these over here, and that is basically how you can take one of your hand lettered designs and using the Procreate app and your Apple Pencil on your iPad Pro and using the Cricut Design app or Cricut Design Space app on your iPad, you can turn your hand lettered creations into fun projects. So I'm going to close this up and we'll finish out making our design. Let me get my pencil and put that back in. Put that to the side. We'll take this off of our mat. I put the plastic back on so that way nothing else gets on there. And I just store my mats underneath my machine. Makes it easy for me. And while we wait, I'm going to turn on my Easy Press. It is $2.95 for 30 seconds. So let me make sure I got that. Okay, we'll finish weeding here as our Easy Press heats up. All right, and here we go. So I think this will look really cute. All right, so we've got our Just Chillin' with our cute popsicle design. I've got the you know, what's not super fun is when you can't find one of your pieces. Oh, there it is. I got tangled up in some of my excess over here. All right, so what I do when I'm getting ready to put an iron-on design onto a t-shirt is, especially a layered one like this, I'm going to line this up on the back side here as easy as I can, which is not going to be very easy. Okay, one thing I want to show you real quick is I cut this one really close so that I can fit these together and iron them together, but only take off the carrier sheet once. Does that make sense? I'm going to feed that in there so it'll stick like that. So that's what it'll look like. Want to place it here so they can make sure that it's going to line up on the shirt. It's just a little bit sticky. That's what we like that carrier sheet for. I'm going to get my Easy Press mat, which is awesome. It is just perfect for ironing t-shirts and tote bags, and it gives the right amount of pressure and holds the heat just how it needs to be, so I really recommend it. I'm going to warm up the area on there just a bit, and I am an eyeballer. I just want to say, oh, okay, that looks about good. Put that there, and then as I'm holding those layers down, I'll remove the top. And it says for 30 minutes, but when you layer vinyl or iron on, I only do it, we're going to set this, it's set at 30, but I actually only want to do it for about 15 or 12. All right, so I've got that ironed down. One thing about iron-on, foil iron-on, is that you have to let it cool completely before you can remove the carrier sheet. So let that cool. Otherwise, with the foil, it kind of leaves it wrinkly, and you don't really want that on your design. So now that it's cooled, we're going to gently peel off both of the carrier sheets. Perfect. Okay, then we just line up the other part of our design. Put that down there. There's like a little black speck here. Let's get that off. Okay, this time we're going to do the whole 30 minutes, and we're going to just press down, giving it a little bit of pressure, not a lot. Now before I remove the carrier sheet, I want to flip it over and just press it for about 15 seconds on the back, just to make sure we get a good, nice, I don't want to say seal, but it, you know, it grips the fabric really well. All right, now we just have to wait for it to cool. That's the hard part. All right, now that it's cooled, we will gently peel that carrier sheet off. All right, that looks pretty good. And although we do have a little bit of some wrinkling going on that popsicle with the pink and the purple, that looks pretty good to me. So that was fun. Hopefully now you'll be able to feel more confident in doing a layered design through your Procreate app, and without even having to leave your iPad, you can make it into a fun project.